Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. I had a few people request that I show the decorating of these Garden Fairy cards, tags, whatever, that I made using, or that I acquired by cutting up a masterboard. So I've gathered up some stuff. At the end, I'll show you the ones that I have done off camera. I left quite a few to work on, and we won't get through them all. I can assure you of that. So now I don't think, well, maybe by the time you see this video, you will have already seen the video where I talk about my lovely new vintage metal storage drawers. And maybe you sat through watching me sort stuff. So anyway, I just pulled out two of the drawers that I would call focal point drawers. So between that, some trim, and some rickrack and seam binding, I should have enough stuff to work with. Now, if I don't, I do have a few more things kind of nearby. Anyway, let us begin. So right after, excuse me, right after I did that video, I, of course, kept working. Now, I wonder if this thing is going to cooperate today or if I have to fling it across the room. You may remember that I combined a small bottle in with whatever was left in this system. And I don't know if that caused a problem. I don't know what the heck. Anyway, I'm going to see if I can get anything out of here. Now, spacing wise, so I have basically two pieces of the same ribbon, and we all remember when this ribbon was popular. I think it goes very well with the imagery and with the purple cabbage dyed piano paper. So more space here, I'm putting it there. More space here, I'm putting it there. Yeah, so let's just see. This thing has fooled me before. You know, it'll start working fine and then it'll give up the ghost. Anyway, my kick, oh, I forgot my little silicone spreader, but the way this is coming out, I will have spread it just with the tip of the glue bottle. I think those sides are almost reversible. They're so close. So that's, I guess, one step on that one. We'll do the same thing here. And basically what I did the other day, oh, you piece of crap. Honestly. Let's see if I can get something out of this one. I have been keeping it upside down in my little... I noticed when I was at Walmart, I don't know why, I keep disappointing myself by looking, oh, for heaven's sake. I don't know why I keep disappointing myself by going to the craft department, because it seems to get smaller. And has this tip even been cut off, or am I trying to get blood out of a stone? We're off to a fine start. Anyway, I noticed that there's a now, that might not even have been trimmed. There is now a, excuse me, Aleene's Tacky Glue that they call Quick Grab. Of course, I didn't mold with these scissors or something. Is it too late to go back to bed and hide under the covers? Well, it's 1:30, so maybe it is a bit late. Whoa. That's too much glue. Whoops. I need my spreader. Okay, so let's talk about something a little more fun or less annoying. Now, with if I end up making a tag that has something extending beyond the bottom or the sides, and gets a wee bit thick because of whatever I've layered on there, I tend to not try to, or I tend to try to, I try not to do further damage to the tag or a pocket by putting something like that into a pocket. So in a case like this, this would be attached to, with a paper clip to the side of the page. This, on the other hand, because the decoration is at the top of the card, would show nicely outside of a pocket without any creasing and bending and perhaps something letting go. So there's that to consider. I just grabbed a bunch of rickrack, not actually having looked at whether any of the colors work. Seam binding, that could be good, and it is a started piece here. Maybe I should just pull this off the card. Oh, too much. That is not quite as good, but there's rickrack too that I could make work. So maybe just to keep things moving and not, heaven forbid, overthink anything, we could just add, this is like baby rickrack. Add that. Maybe this tacky glue would be better. Oh, I didn't bring any sentiments. This is that little tiny container off. Let's first trim this a bit. This is that little tiny container of some of those really teensy-weensy. Oh, one of these bowls. Wrong blue, but anyway, let's make a mess right off the bat. That I got from Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodle. Just want a tiny little bead. See, the problem with tack, there are pros and cons to every product. And that's why we all have an arsenal of them in our toolkit, because different situations call for different remedies. Now, because this is not quick grab, I think I should add some clips. If you haven't gotten yourself some quilting clips, you don't know what you're missing. They hold remarkably well. They don't take up much space. And they really do a good job of grabbing. So I'll just put that aside while that, oh my goodness, that light is shining. Oh, and this one I didn't even turn on. Shining right in my eye. Okay, how about if we did something with seam binding? Now what we could do here, well, since that's already got that bend in it from where it was folded when it was attached to the card, what I could do is just make a bow. And then that, I would end up with that very stylish tail, at least on one side. Back in our craft store days, I would have been walking over hot coals to get this thing to comply and do what it's supposed to do. And now in this world, it's like, oh, if only I could reproduce that look. I guess I should make that a little more matchy-matchy. So I don't really like using staples very much, even though it is quick. I think what I will do is I'll add just a little drop of art glitter glue within the center of this thing. Not enough to bleed through, but enough to, she said optimistically, what the heck is this? But enough to prevent that from untying. And I'll make a little teeny puddle here. I will put that there. I will clamp that there. Sometimes it's almost like you don't have the strength to open up the clip. It's so strong. Okay, so we'll just let that sit for the time being. Cover this up. Maybe what I could do is just pull these guys back in slightly, see if there are any of these little mini things that could work. Again, it's too bad that is, I guess it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I could go with these neutral clocks. I have a thing for clocks and watches and clock faces, and what else is in here? That pink one might come in handy soon. Let's get that hair out of there. I hope that you are well. I'm doing this on, that bird is facing the wrong way. I'm doing this on the eve of Black Friday, like on the Wednesday. Oh no, eve of Thanksgiving, I guess, U.S. Thanksgiving. You know I won't be content till I have this all on my desk. Oh, these little frames are kind of cute. Maybe one of the neutrally ones. Yeah, I'd say that's better than the blue. Do I want it? I haven't. Oh, what the heck. I'll just touch this around the edge. I haven't inked anything really to speak. And you know what? I think that was the wrong brush. Oh well. Seems to be par for the course for today's video making endeavor. Glue stick. Yeah, so anyway, I hope that you guys are all, well, the Americans anyway, are all, um, you know, kind of primed and ready for your multi-day extravaganza. I think that, isn't it one of the busiest travel days in the year? So, that is all. I always find flying a bit of a grueling thing. The pressure. Mind you, if you're not leaving your country, then I guess it's, the whole, you don't do the customs thing, but you still have to go through airport security. You still have to make sure that you've packed correctly. It's the whole idea of getting to the airport, going through those lineup, hoping your flight is on time. Like, it's almost more than I can bear. And I do have one of those Nexus cards that presumably gets me through faster, but let's see. Okay, so I don't know how much more, if anything. I guess I should have brought the little sentiments thing, but oh, one thing I forgot to figure out for these guys is the name. Now, I think this one is definitely Violet, so I could always add that somewhere. But for now, I'm not going to, because there were several flowers that, maybe could go either way. And I definitely don't know what this one is. Okay, so on this one, are we going to use a clock face? Or something like so. That seems a little wide. This is even wider. But if I put it there, it's almost like she's looking down at it. Maybe the less ornate one would be better. I could do like a little mini collage there. What else would be good? I could find a bluish butterfly. This guy could probably do in a pinch. Yeah, let's just glue those down. I sure hope you guys can see something. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Okie dokie, I think glue stick will work. Some of these are a bit thicker, like they're cards. Whoa, that's a lot of glue. They are cardstock. If I could pick it up. Oh, geez, I gobbed glue all over that. If you have Netflix, you know how there are always the top 10 in Canada, top 10, I guess, I don't know, US or whatever. Boy, I got a glob of glue on there. Anyway, let me change this thing. New releases for your next watch, blah, 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 based on such and such. So, and then the ones that they're really pushing, like there was that, recently there was that, not wrestling, boxing thing. Didn't watch that, of course. Anyway, the one that is being pushed right now is, I think it's called Buy Now or something. If you want to be sick, watch that. It is ex-insiders from Amazon, Adidas. I can't remember some of the others. Anyway, all of these people that I don't know how to an attack of conscience or whatever, anyway, found it harder and harder to continue doing what the job required of them. So I think I should forget this and just stick with our glitter glue for less mess, especially since this seems to be how my day is going. Anyway, it is, of course, tells us what we already know, that we are being programmed and bombarded with very sophisticated messaging about what we need and what we must have and what we must have right this minute, and how companies have facilitated that, and you know how it's basically leading to the downfall of society and the environment. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to listen to. It's hard to acknowledge our role, our individual and collective role in playing this game, and how unscrupulous these places are. But I think everyone should definitely watch it just for, I don't know. I think this still needs something. Maybe I can find, here's a slightly bigger with the same butterflies. Oh, slightly different butterfly. Or is it better to use this one? And then if I decide to stamp a number or something on that little label, that little frame, I still have room for it. Okay, we're going to call this one done. Now, again, I still have the option of cutting off the top corners and turning it into a tag shape, adding an eyelet and so on. But I'm just wondering, maybe since I dragged all this stuff here, I should do one of the pinkish ones. Then I won't feel so silly for having brought all this stuff over. But it seems like I should end this video sooner rather than later because of how poorly I'm doing here today. We'll decide which one to use in a moment. Put these guys back, knowing that I still have to get to them. Okay, so let's get rid of all this blue stuff. Make a little more working space here. Okay, I think all of these greens are far too much. Yeah, I don't like any of those. And they're so wide. Okay. Oh, that's red. We don't want red. Now, I did also bring this sort of almost like a burnt orange, but there really isn't enough of any of that color to probably warrant using it, so we'll throw that one aside as well. Now, I also have this bit of this pink stuff here. A stuff, like, how about lace? Can we use some of that? It seems a bit bright, to be honest. Like, this is vintage book page and vintage images. That seems so... Wonder what would happen if I found my right brush, for one thing, and tried toning that down a smidge. Yeah, is that the one? That's the one. Okay. Anyway, I guess if you are traveling, let's find my gathered twigs. If you are gathering, if you're gathering twigs, if you're traveling, oh, I forgot to cover this up. Please be careful out there. I don't know really what happens on U.S. roads, you know, on holidays and so on. But I do know that typically in Canada, you know, deaths with for motor vehicle collisions and so on tend to go up on holiday weekends. It's like people are in a hurry, they're preoccupied, traffic levels are higher, traffic volume is higher, and everybody, you know, just loses their minds. And okay, I inked that up. I was supposed to be inking this up, so let's see what happens. Well, that kind of helps. It dirties up the white, and it obviously tones down the pink a bit too, so that was a good solution. Okay, so what do we want to do here? Now I could, how much do I have? What I could do is do just some faux gathering down one side. No, she's almost smack dab in the middle, so that is, I guess, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Where's the end? Okay, now am I going to run into a problem because I didn't do both sides of the, let's see. Okay, I need to go a little further. Okay, I think that the best bet for this is going to probably be Fabri-Tac. I was going to pick all those up, but I probably still need them. That could be a possibility. I did question whether I wanted to embellish flower things with flowers, but again, probably not. Oh, here's that pink thing I had earlier. Okay, so what I'm going to do is lay a little bit of glue down and then just, maybe I'll just do an inch or two at a time. I'll leave that there. Okay, so I'm, see, it would have been nicer to have the scalloped edge sticking past, but clearly I glued, or not glued, but inked it at the wrong, started at the wrong end of the piece. So that's what I've got so far. Now, because of the size and shape of these things, they could also be side tucks. So let's just, if we're trying to use stuff up, let's go all the way. And then this won't be a pocket, even though I did Yep, I did back everything. This will just be a tuck spot or a pocket. And of course, you can make these little homemade ruffles as, you know, to your taste. They could be, the little peaks could be closer together, further apart. This whole row could have been a little curvy as opposed to straight down the side of this card. Is it too late to move this? Oops, not that. Hopefully this hasn't really sank back down yet. Okay. Another thing that you may have time, or you may choose to watch or make time to watch, is Man on the Inside, starring Ted Danson. That's also on Netflix. And if you think back over Ted Danson's career, remember, well, I don't know if it was absolutely the first thing he did, but the first probably bigger thing he did was, you know, bartender on Cheers, Sam Malone. And remember, he wasn't exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer, the brightest bulb on the tree, the lights were on but nobody was home kind of thing. Always a bit naive, a bit, you know, slow on the uptake. That's kind of nice. Now I wish I would have known what flower that is, so I'll have to reconstruct that and figure that out. Anyway, then he had, and again, I'm probably missing some stuff because he's had a long career. Oh, and if you remember, during the heyday on Cheers, he started going bald. And he was always a very attractive man, but he started going bald. His hair was thinning. So, big scandal at the time. I think he ended up getting a hair transplant or something. And, you know, that's not usually the way things are done. Typically, so you can see I had a printer problem here again, so I would have to disguise that. Do I want that there or there? Maybe better at the bottom. Anyway, so I think he had a hair transplant, and of course, his hair has been lovely ever since. Anyway, then he had that show, Becker, where he was a doctor. Again, not the sharpest. Okay, what else could I say? Bailing Without Twine. Not the brightest bulb on the tree. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer. What else? What else? Maybe I have something green I could use. Anyway, so in this case, and because he's been kind of versatile, he's been busy. He stayed working all his life. That's a bit off color, but maybe that could work with one of those little flowers. Yeah, let's do that. Again, we're not trying to cure science here. We're just trying to maybe I can use that on another one. Anyway, so he is, of course, now a senior guy, and still as, you know, slow as he always was to catch the drift of things. Recently widowed, having trouble adjusting, and that leads to him, you know, his daughter encouraging him to, you know, find an interest, to get a job, do something that would, he was a university professor, something that would, I guess, give him a reason to go on living. And I can't remember if there's 6 or 8 parts in the little mini series, but it was very enjoyable. Like when you just need some lighthearted entertainment and you need, you know, to maybe have something, you know, something a little thought-provoking. Something, oh, I was going to use a leaf. Where did that leaf go to? Something thought-provoking. You know, you want some interesting characters, you know, not so one-dimensional like so many of them are these days. Anyway, I thought it was really kind of good. So that's another little thing you might want to check out. I hope that this glue stick is actually going to hold because, like I said, these are thicker pieces of paper. So, and I'm kind of piling them up here. Which way is up here? Okay. Let us call this done. And I'll show you the other ones that I have done. Looks like I can pick all this up. Quite often I like mysteries, thrillers, psychological thrillers. Don't mind the odd bit of gore. But not gratuitous, you know, just slasher stuff for the sake of slasher stuff. Like that doesn't impress me. But sometimes I like to change it up. And of course, stand-up comedians, as long as they're not very gross. Okay, so today we did these. Gather up my clips. Now, I still have to add names to these guys. So we'll put those aside for the time being, and I'll show you what I did the other day. Oh, and I have these. I still have 7 more to do, which I will probably do right after this video. But this, oh, and I could add, I have this baker's twine that is, you know, I mean, not on here, but on this one, I could add baker's twine if I add an eyelet. Yes, I'm going to wire her for electricity, and I'm going to run an outlet to that tag. Okay, so this is what I did before. And you will see a common theme. Name the theme. As soon as you figure it out, name the theme. Maybe I have to show them to you in smaller numbers because I don't have enough room to spread out here. Okay, so clearly the theme is postage stamps. And here I've layered lace, ribbon, some stamps, and the name of the flower. I'm surprised. Oh, that's not exactly. I was going to say I'm surprised that's sticking, but I need to reinforce that. Same combo, different layout stamps. Here, this is a piece of GIMP, and I did a little bead of, I'm just going to leave this dangling. I did a little bead of art glitter glue here and here so it would not unravel. This is lifting and I don't want it to rip off. And color coordinated the postage stamps. And on this one, I don't know why I did it here. Oh, I know, because this has a different base. With those antique book pages, I felt like I needed to color the white parts of the image. So there are those. This one, I guess these three, I used eyelet on. And then some of these, you know how sometimes you can get an assorted thing of fibers? So I used this fuzziest one here, along with a narrow little 1/8 inch ribbon. Again, trying to pick up on the flower center and some of these lighter elements in the masterboard. This one is different in that it has book pages and piano paper. And I just thought that between the sort of purpley colors and the browny colors and the green, that it was fine to use this. And I'll tell you what this was. I had a necklace like this, and I took it apart. So, pretty happy with how that turned out. And this one is probably the simplest with the eyelet and the ribbon. And it was nice to use up stamps because I have so many. And then on these last two, I did cut them into a tag shape. Again, I used some of the same ribbon here. I guess this is called ladder ribbon, whatever. And, you know, so again, I repeated some of the things. So if some of these were used in the same project, they would kind of go well together. I added these fancy eyelets. I don't know where I must have thrifted them. They're heart shape, and it was good to use those up. Added the word again, or the flower title. Now, would these be improved with a bit of inking? Perhaps add a bit of definition to the edge of the card. Again, I try to be pretty subtle. If I do ink at all, I try to be pretty subtle about it. Again, I bet you I picked up the wrong brush again. This needs a little Trimmeruno. Oops. So I hope this has shown you that there, you know, basically, if you want to make a dent in some of the things that you may be overstocked with, or, yeah, overstocked, things you have too much of. One way to do that is just say, you know what, I am drowning in stamps or lace or rickrack or whatever it is. Grab a bunch of that and kind of challenge yourself just to decorate using those items that you are most eager to get rid of or use up. So that's what I did with the stamps, and I just kind of worked at that. And of course, it does make for... Does it seem like I'm getting anything out of this brush? It does seem to... it unifies whatever you end up with. So today, it's more like these little kind of focal points. The other day, it was stamps, and I will see how I finish the last 7. But, you know, there will be a whole pile of these done and ready to use when I'm done with this. So the beauty of a masterboard, if you take it to completion, you end up with ready-made ephemera. So you're using up, you know, use it, don't store it. You're saving time in the craft room. you're scrap busting, and you are having fun in the process. So again, if I haven't already sold you on the idea of doing masterboards, well, I might have to give up. Another thing, and I have all of these little guys ready here. Maybe since I have so many of these, I should just make that my challenge for the remaining 7. And I will, once I'm done, take photos of all of them and post them on Instagram, which then simultaneously gets posted to my Facebook page. So I hope that this has, I hope that all these little blunders and lack of words and all that hasn't turned you off a great deal today, and that you feel compelled to make some masterboards, decorate them, and build up your stash of ephemera. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.